And DeepSeek, in fact, 2 weeks ago, or before 2 weeks ago, I mentioned about DeepSeek, okay? And then, so I mentioned that the CNBC was reporting about this, and then the whole world started to figure out what is DeepSeek about, okay? So, I share with you this short, and then you will have a better understanding, okay?
If you're wondering what the heck is going on with DeepSeek, the new Chinese-made AI model that's causing a freakout in the US, here are the 3 things you need to know. Okay, 1. The reason this new model is impressive is because it performs nearly as well or better than the current top AI models in reasoning tasks like math problems, coding, and knowledge-based questions. But 2, the real reason it's such a big deal is that all of that high performance supposedly costs a fraction to run compared to those other top AI models. And they claim it only took a fraction to make, 6 million compared to billions.
Okay, 6 million compared to 250 billion. And but there are some articles saying that DeepSeek actually took about 50,000 of the AI chips. Okay, so their cost is actually about 500 million instead of 6 million. So I do not know how true is this 6 million. But another question is, how do they get the chip? Because since it is the advanced chips are not supposed to be sold to China, how can they get the chip? Okay, so now Singapore is also coming into the picture because they are saying that the chips are actually from Singapore to China. In fact, this thing we have been talking about. I've already said long time ago that not only Singapore but Malaysia also. Okay, Malaysia and Singapore, we are actually sending those advanced chips to Singapore. I mean to China. But it is not like a public news, but then people who know will know. Okay. So it has been doing that. So but recently we saw the export figure that the Taiwan export has gone up. That means Malaysia exports to Taiwan has gone up. Singapore exports to Taiwan also go up. So then I also suspect that now they are changing the path from since Malaysia cannot direct export to maybe to US or China, then maybe to Taiwan, then from Taiwan as a stepping board and then export to either US or China. Okay, so all this they are trying to find a loophole. Okay, so that's why you have this trade war. Okay, but later I will talk about the trade war. So you look at this DeepSeek, it's actually it will affect the AI chip because you use less advanced chip. Okay, so here they claim that they're using the lower version because the higher version is H100. Okay, so you have A100, H100, and then you also have the lower spec. So apparently this one they use the lower spec, and they use the lower spec, and yet they are able to achieve so much. Yeah, so maybe okay. So in terms of the trade war, it is still the beginning. It's not the end. It's still the beginning. So a lot of unknowns. Okay.
Billions for similar performance. But 3, and this is the most important thing, DeepSeek shows genuinely big technological innovations, and we know that because they made it open source. The biggest one is that it relies much less on human feedback to check its answers while training, which people are freaking out about because it shows a way that AI could learn even more than we know, because it's not limited by what we can check. And in
Okay. So
breaking
recently
news,
we have this
Alibaba just
Alibaba.
released yet another AI model that does even better in some ways. And we just released an hour-long interview with the
Okay, so you see that the development of this AI chatbot is so fast. Okay, just when we thought that the DeepSeek is the best, now today Alibaba announced that the Grand 2.5 is even better than the DeepSeek. And in fact, they have tested on the performance by prompting the same questions using the DeepSeek and then compared to the Alibaba Grand 2.5. And they discovered that the Grand 2.5 in many aspects, performance, reasoning, coding, many sections, right, actually beat the DeepSeek. Okay, so now you have this new version. So it's all changing. So it has you can't see a stability here. So every day you see some interesting news from this area. So for this NVIDIA, So what is the threat here? So the NVIDIA, the threat is that people are looking at, since DeepSeek has actually tested, proven that you can use much less chips than the OpenAI. So which means that other trainer, who train the AI, they will also use not as much as we thought. So then the sales of the NVIDIA chip will decline. Okay, so that is the worry. However, because this industry is a very fast changing industry, so what I see is that as long as people, when they need to train the AI model, right, as long as people still need, the demand for NVIDIA chips will still be increased. Why? Because there will be more and more people buying the NVIDIA chip to train their own model. So it will not be only a startup company or only those tech companies will buy the NVIDIA chip. It will be involved a lot of people, including me or you, where we just want to do some simple training and then we probably will just buy it. So it will be people who are buying the NVIDIA chip will be expanded to a lot of people. Okay, it will be although it may be less chips, but then it will be more wider customers. So that is provided if people still buy the NVIDIA chip for their AI production. And also there's also another thing about the why DeepSeek is able to use less resources. Okay, one of the main reason is in the past, the OpenAI, how did the OpenAI train the model? The OpenAI actually will feed the machine, okay, or the AI with lots of information. So whatever information you can find, okay, lots of it, you just feed into the machine will just browse through, absorb it, and then learn from it. Okay, so that means you need a lot of data and GPU and energy, utilities, water, electricity, and power to run the GPU and then to learn those material. You learn everything. So if you were to prompt and then basically the ChatGPT has to run through all the resources and then from there you try to get the information. That means you have to go through all the resources. But the OpenAI, no need. It's like the OpenAI is like not the OpenAI, I mean the DeepSeek. It's like the librarian. Okay, so they have changed the algorithm. They have discovered an algorithm whereby the way they train the AI is that they make the AI, the model, okay, become like a librarian. So the librarian is like he doesn't need to know a lot of information. He's just a librarian whereby he will take care of all the books in the library. So now this DeepSeek is like a AI algorithm is such that it is like a librarian whereby they are in charge of all these different sections of the book information. They put it into different sections. You have this specialized and that specialized, and then when the prompt is prompted, what is the how this the world was developed, the earth was developed, what is the quantum physics and things like that. You don't have to run through all the material and waste a lot of power. You just have to go to the right section, okay? Because you're the librarian, so you know. You go to the right section and then from there you pick the answer. Okay, so that means you don't have to go through the whole chunk of your knowledge. You just go very specific. So they have changed this algorithm. It's through the coding, the algorithm of the model, and you are able to save a lot of power. You don't need a lot of energy. You don't need a lot of electricity. You don't need a lot of GPU. Okay, and then you don't need very high tech GPU, and you are able to get the information, get the answer. Okay, so that is the main the main thing that makes this DeepSeek so successful. So now with the grant, I'm not sure how does the grant become more successful than the DeepSeek, but then they just announced the news today, so which means that this race is full of changes. Okay, it's always changes. But however, as you are investing in the NVIDIA, okay, we will be looking at technically, okay, so if you were to look at NVIDIA, okay, so this is the 200-day moving average. If let's say you already bought some in 130, okay, for me 130. So if you already have hold some position 130 something, then you are thinking of lower cost averaging. So for me, I'm looking at lower cost averaging at around the support level, because that is a huge gap here. So you will allow some time for consolidation, okay? Or if you do not want, then you just have to, I wouldn't, because this is for long term. NVIDIA, the outlook is that it is still the biggest market share of the AI chip. It is still the biggest market share. And it has not only one business, it has many business. Not only does it have the GPU, it also has the graphic card, and it also has the platform, the crowd, the training platform, the cloud platform, and in fact the cloud platform, where it is a training ground for all the AI, is their biggest revenue source. Okay, so which means that they don't just rely on the GPU set to make money. Okay, their revenue source is not. And also they also have the drive, which is the autonomous driving, where they have released them recently. And if let's say more and more automobile car company adopting the autonomous driving, they will use NVIDIA drive system, and that is open up to another whole new revenue source. Okay, so you have to see NVIDIA as a multiple revenue segment, not only the GPU set. Okay, so I'm still thinking the fundamental is solid, okay, for the NVIDIA. So I wouldn't be too worried that it will drop to, like too low. But however, given the history that if you were to look at the history, when it drops, they may drop significantly, because all these are the tech company. Tech company are very volatile. So there is a possibility that it may drop down to 90, around 90 level. Okay, because if you are looking at the Fibonacci retracement, 50% is 83, okay, and then 382 is 100. Okay, so this is the next level that I think it may go to, okay, which is this level 382. And if it can be supported, then it will bounce off from there. So if it can't, then the next level is this, and then 618, no, I don't think it will go down to that. But 50%, that is a worst case scenario. Okay. Likely case scenario will be $100. Okay. For me, I'm waiting to buy at $95. Okay, that is my target price. 95, then I'll buy. Okay, so now I'm not doing anything. I just wait. And so this is for the NVIDIA. All right.